What's going on, guys? Crypto Renegade here again for you, and in today's video I'm going to cover some common sense crypto security tips that all crypto owners need to know. But before I jump into the content, I just updated my new free ebook on the 7 best ways to secure your crypto, updated for 2021. So check that out in the description below. I just linked it and it will be pinned in the comments at the top below. All right, let's get started. All right, welcome back, guys. So we're gonna jump right into where a few of the most important security tips that you will need to know to make sure that your crypto is safe and always in your possession. Crypto security tip number 1, purchase and actually use a crypto hardware wallet. So most people today, when they purchase or receive their first Bitcoin or any altcoin, they usually set up a free wallet on their mobile phone. Some even use a web-based or desktop wallet, but all of these are examples of hot wallets. So what does that mean? It means that these wallets are easily accessed via the internet.
Can you explain what internet is?
So when you have a wallet that is directly connected to the internet or device that is frequently connected to the internet, it can be susceptible to hacks, loss of passwords, or even your backup recovery seed phrase or phrases if you have multiple. This is just another reason why you should never, ever leave your coins on the exchange for any reason. As Andreas Antonopoulos once said, not your keys, not your coins.
Your keys, your Bitcoin. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin.
Crypto security tip number 2, multiple signature compatibility, aka multisig. So if you're unfamiliar about what multisig is, this is an update to the Bitcoin protocol that revolutionized its capabilities by adding layering to transacting and storing your cryptos. The concept here is that when you own Bitcoin, you have a public key, this is your wallet address, and then you have a corresponding private key, and this is the key to actually owning and using your coins. You use your private key to create what's called a digital signature, similar to signing your name on a physical check to make it valid. And this is to authorize a transaction on the Bitcoin network. So what multisig does is exactly what it sounds like. It requires multiple signatures for a transaction to process and to be authorized. This is extremely powerful because it allows individuals and organizations to have security and require a predetermined amount of signatures for your transaction to process. Example, 2 out of 3 signatures, 4 out of 7, 9 out of 9, so on. You can set the parameters ahead of time with a shared wallet, with everyone having access to it, and with terms that everyone agrees to. For instance, let's say that you have a spouse that you want to have access to these coins or your private keys in case something horrible happens to you. I really hope it doesn't, but let's just say that that happens. You can set up a shared wallet that requires either 1 out of 2 signatures to gain access or even 2 out of 3 signatures. So if you have like an attorney, so that either one of you can use them in a pinch if you have to, in that type of scenario. Crypto security tip number 3. Your recovery seed, keep it safe. I cannot stress enough how important it is that your recovery seed is. Guard it with your life. In fact, it's actually more important than the hardware wallet itself. Why? Because if someone has access to your 12 to 24 word recovery seed phrase, they can essentially wipe the funds from your current wallet, whether it's hot or a cold wallet, and import it into any other BIP39 compatible wallet. Now, there are a few tips on how to secure these precious words and a few ways to future or disaster proof these specific words, which is extremely important. First, never ever store your hardware wallet in the same location as your recovery seed phrase. In fact, if you have a safe, I would keep the recovery seed booklet in there instead of the wallet itself. That is the key to your funds. It exists obviously so that if you ever lose your hardware wallet or is damaged, you don't lose your funds, and then you can take your word phrase and import them into any other wallet easily. Second, consider getting an indestructible recovery phrase backup option like Kobo Tablet. I'll link that above for a review on that. Third, taking this a step further, it's considered a best practice and something I actually practice myself, to separate your seed phrases into multiple pieces. So for example, if you have a 12-word recovery seed, consider taking the first 4 words, placing them in one location, then take the next 4 words and putting it in another location, and then take the third, put it in a separate location, and so on. Another pro tip is if you have a steel trap, like a really good memory, some people actually memorize these words and then destroy any and all evidence of the seed phrase. The caveat there is if you ever forget what your backup words are, your backup's done at that point. So it's always good to have some form of backup in case something happens. Crypto security tip number 4, social engineering and phishing attempts and what you should be watching out for. So you may have heard of the recent Ledger hack that I addressed in a previous video, which outlined that the hardware wallet company Ledger had their marketing database hacked, and over 272,000 people had their name, address, phone number, email, etc. all leaked on the dark web. Luckily, if you have one of these devices, all of your private keys are safe, so you shouldn't be too alarmed. However, with that said, here are some things to consider and be aware of when handling anything crypto related online in the future, including any online purchases you make, and especially when using exchanges. Number 1, never, ever, under any circumstances, enter your 12 to 24 word recovery seed phrase online. Phishers and scammers, especially the ones that have access to Ledger's customers' details that they got through the hack, have already begun sending very convincing and legitimate looking emails to these people and asking them for them to enter their recovery seed phrase online to protect themselves. Do not do this. Even if someone asks you to, for any reason. With your recovery seed phrase, someone can steal all of your funds in your current wallet, whether it's online or offline, and import it into their own wallet very easily, and there's nothing you can do. As I discussed above, this is the key to your backup hardware wallet funds, so you never want to share this with anyone for any reason unless you want them to have access. 2, don't take a screenshot or photo of your recovery seed phrase if you set up a wallet on your smartphone or otherwise. This is just lazy, and if you have a photo of these words, you can probably deduce that it's either backed up to iCloud or Google Photos, and thus will be stored online where it can be accessed by anyone. It's always better to be safe than sorry. Always keep it on paper and in pen, or better yet, on one of the metal recovery seed backup devices I just talked about. And I'll link again that below and above so you can check that out. Number 3, use a VPN when purchasing items or accessing a crypto exchange always. When using an exchange or purchasing any crypto related items online, such as a hardware wallet or a metal recovery seed backup, whatever, to ensure that you're not being tracked by your IP address. This will help you be more not only anonymous and therefore safer when you're doing business online, so that you ultimately cannot be tracked, but you can also use this for other purposes like accessing other sensitive data, logins, your bank account, etc. It's highly recommended for any practice. Number 4, never enter any real or identifying information for purchases for crypto related transactions. So to clarify, using the Ledger hack as a lesson, you should not provide any exchange or crypto company your real name, address, primary email, etc. Consider using a PO box if you want to buy a hardware wallet so that you can get it. So that way you don't risk dangerous individuals getting access to your home address and paying you a visit. You don't want that. Additionally, you should use a burner email address or a spare one that you don't use primarily, so that in this event it is leaked, it is easy to ditch that email and close it up completely. Number 5, be very careful with KYC when you're entering it for any organization that asks you to do so. For those that are uninitiated and have never used a centralized crypto exchange, KYC stands for Know Your Customer. This is a government mandated regulation that is imposed to stop or reduce money laundering, or what they call terrorist financing. And while their intentions are pure with that, it creates a substantial privacy risk to you. So as if this database ever gets hacked and or leaked, then these nefarious actors will know not only your crypto history, but they can internally link it with your passport, your photo, driver's license, and all private information. As I mentioned above, this is something not many people consider, as exchanges are huge honeypots for bad actors. And since it's a huge financial payoff if they're successful, this is just another prime example of why you should never leave your private keys on the exchange. Crypto security tip number 5, and this should go without saying, but I want to be crystal clear about this. I will personally never reach out to you via the YouTube comments, Telegram, Instagram, whatever, any social media to ask you for money in any way, shape, or form. You probably have seen comments on several of my videos or even ads before the video where there are tons of scammers who are promising you free money and to make you rich if you transfer them some Bitcoin or Ether or any other form of payment. Use your common sense and do not do this. These are very clearly scams. Unfortunately, these scammers will not stop, and I've tried, and they will spin up new accounts when you report them. So just be aware that you should never reply or entertain any promises of making money for anyone that reaches out to you via the comments on any crypto YouTubers videos, not just mine. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it and it gave you any value, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below on what your favorite crypto security tip was. I actually genuinely love to hear your feedback. And go ahead and click right here to watch my video I just did on the top 3 hardware wallets coming in 2021. This gives you a preview of the most advanced crypto hardware wallets that are coming later this year, and even one of them coming next month. So I'll go ahead and see you guys in that video. Crypto Renegade out.